All right, welcome back to oVault. It's a side project I'm working on. It's built. It's an account and password manager built with SvelteKit, uh, TypeScript, and OstrichDB. It's a nice little full stack application. OstrichDB, of course, is my own creation. You can use it yourself and try things out with that. So, um, I've wanted to build this project for a while. This is actually one of the first things I wanted to do when I finished my database months ago. But I never got around to it, so I'm getting around to it now. This is, I think, episode 2 or part 2, whatever. So what have I been doing? Recently, last night, I went through the client-side code and I just fixed up a bunch of the vibe coding shit. It did work, right? That's fine and all, but it doesn't look like something I wrote, and thus I won't really understand it as well. So I went ahead and moved things around. I kind of programmed a little bit just like I did with Odin. It's not a big deal. People like this is one of the things about vibe coding you want to be careful with is you don't want it to just do everything for you because when you need to maintain something, you won't know what the fuck is going on necessarily. Most likely, unless you're just really, really lazy and really, really good at programming. Um, unless those cases are both true, you're probably not gonna be able to maintain everything the way you should. So I went ahead and just kind of cleaned some things up, specifically the TypeScript. Um, like I moved my types over here, added some constants and all that shit. This is similar to how I do in Odin. I added like a procedure or a function that can be passed different times or for different called different times with different parameters and uh shit like that. So that's what I was doing last night. Oh, excuse me. Uh, that text message. Thought I turned that down. So the goal today is to make sure login still works after all the changes I made and then make sure we can at least start posting information into the database and then trying to get that back. We'll worry about deleting and updating later, probably. And if we can get to all of it, then we can. It just depends on how I feel, how frustrated I get with TypeScript today. So that's the move. So let us begin. We're gonna make sure that client's running because I killed it earlier. And we're gonna start that back end up. Boom. So now let's try to go to register. And I have my environment variable, so hopefully, oh, I don't, what I don't have in here? I did not generate an actual um this and go like that. We need to do this real quick. And I actually need one more thing. So we need to do Python 3 generate that. And that'll generate our thing. And we'll put that value there. Okay. So now start the client one more time. Okay, let's make an account and see if everything was good there. So we create the account? We did create the account. All right, it's right here. This is me right here. Animate the project secure, and secure should have a collection called credentials in it, and credentials should have, there we go. There's our information. Again, I need to come back to the encryption. I don't know why I'm able to view this. There's something wrong with this encryption of the OpenOstrichDB engine, which is what I'm using, not the proprietary one. So got to figure that out. But we should be good to log in now. So if I just do Marshall and password, I have to verify. Interesting. Okay. Well, we know it got stored. So fail to verify. That's not okay. what the hell? Real. Records username. It should have gotten records. Record not found. Okay, so that's interesting. Record not found. What record are you looking for? So you should be looking for, we're passing it username record, which is record username, password. Let's try that again. Also, let me make sure this is password. Yes, password is password. Okay. There we go. Okay. I had an incorrect constant. Okay, so we can log in. Great. So now the next thing to work on is actually adding. Okay, so let's go back over to our dashboard. Dashboard. And look at our vibe coding shit. So get accounts. So get accounts would actually want to, the goal is to have a second collection inside of here. So it would be projects slash secure slash collection slash accounts dot OstrichDB, which are where all their shit will be saved. So um, I think during registration, we should actually make that. And okay, okay. Um, Accounts collection does not exist. Oh, didn't import it, did I? No, I import everything as lib. Export accounts collection. All right, so we create that. So we're supposed to create that on registration now. So that's good to go. Now I will go ahead and um, redo this and start over. So I'm gonna cancel this, log out, delete this user, and kill the server and then restart it. Now sign up again. So we're going to do Marshall password. Okay, good to go. Let's do Marshall password. Good. Now we should have that collection projects, secure collections accounts. All right. So now when the user chooses to add a new one on submit, so long as everything is good, it will create um, a cluster inside of here, similar to the other one, how that looked inside of here, with the name of like the cluster name will be like the title or something. There'll be a URL, username, password. It will all these will be a type value of string, and then at some point I'm going to add tags in here. So tags will be a string array. That so let's do that. Leave that alone for now. Go back to it's just there dashboard. Get accounts. So first thing is wants to fetch the accounts. We fetch all clusters in here. Okay, so that's fine. We already have a helper for this called handle request. So we literally just gotta do that instead. Boom. And we'll use accounts collection. And we'll do a little bit of that, a little shake and bake, and we'll go like this, clusters. And once we pass clusters, that will get all of them. So we just have to export that, which is good. I'm gonna go back here instead of lib dot whatever, we're gonna get rid of that. Boom, slap that sucker in there. And we're not importing lib. I'll fix these imports later. Okay, token. And we'll do what we did up here. Okay. So I'll put this in the scope of yeah, let's put this within scope here. Get accounts. What's the errors that we got? So there's one, and then oh yeah, token get accounts. Okay. Put that down here. Request token accounts data is equal to okay. So let's actually just try to create one real quick, just some BS in the cluster by hand. and let's see what we get. So we're gonna kind of just use this. So it starts on line 11. Yeah. And we'll just call this GitHub, and username is gonna be my username, and then my password 23. Let's add URL string. It seems like my headphones are about to die. I don't know how long I have, so I'm going to actually pause the video here. You won't notice it really. I'm gonna pause it here, charge my headphones, and then I'll be back. Okay, see, not a problem. URL is going to be HTTPS colon. Actually, these, because these are string values, these should be encapsulated. Why are these not encapsulated? Or do I do that after? I don't remember. URL. What's another thing we have over here? We have a URL, username, password, notes, notes. We'll just do this. Okay. So let's see if we can. Are you still running? You are still running. I'm going to remove this, and it should inspect response. This happened earlier. No errors. Uh-oh. Not open file. Let's restart the server and see something real quick. No errors. That is 404. Counts clusters. Okay, that should be returning all the clusters in here. Hmm. That is odd. I don't know why this is returning 404. Let me modify collections. So projects, secure, collections, accounts, slash clusters. Let's do Postman real quick. Let's try that in Postman. Not found on clusters. Okay. Why slash project slash secure slash collection slash account slash clusters projects secure collections accounts clusters. Why are we not getting it? We're getting a 404 load. Okay, so oh, this is getting a post. God dang it! It's supposed to be GET request. There it is. Clusters, GitHub. Okay. All right, that's something. So we are getting it. Make sure we're still recording. Yes, we are. All right. Um, Range. For some reason, I thought when I got a record, it was supposed to get everything, not just information about it, not just the name, ID, and record count. Hmm. All right. So, mm, fuck. This would require me to modify OstrichDB. Um, thought there was a way. You know what? No, no, no. There is a way to do this. It's like this. So do that. All accounts, slash records. What was it? Hold on. I don't freaking remember. Doggone it. What am I doing? I have the code in here. SHDB, core, server, handlers. Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 See, records. That should be fine. So let's do that. Go back here. Reload. Syntax. Invalid JSON. All right. So that is still an OstrichDB issue. So I need to go to handlers and try to find this one. Records. Handles both filter queries and record listing. All right. Okay, that's fine. What can I be? The name. This is one of those times you just gotta ask Claude. Odin will this make a young JSON. Keep in mind I have to. Oh, I didn't post anything. Oops. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so I still would like it to show me what the frick expected token operation failed is not about JSON. Let's try this in Postman. Operation failed. Okay. Operation failed. Oh dear God. So operation with cluster. To make sure I know which one well, I mean, it would be this one, right? Cluster. Hmm, okay. So, hmm, let's make sure we're at least getting here and using this properly. So let's do a ft.println, and we're just gonna print out this response. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay, let's start the server over again. Cannot find cluster. We can't find the cluster. We're not passing a name to the cluster. That's what I thought. That's what the endpoint was supposed to do. Oh, yeah. Let's see this one time. And yeah, so server.handle get request line 406 cluster not found. Okay, cluster not found. What's right? So the cluster is not found because we're not passing in a cluster name. This is why do I have it to where you can list all the records? Ah, yes, you need a fuck. You do need a cluster name. So if I pass this GitHub or something, let's try it like it is spelled GitHub. There it is. Okay. So how do I do this? How do I interact with this API? Son of a bitch. That is what we want. The IDs are incorrect, but the value type and name are perfectly fine. Um, so mm, all right. For what we want on the front end is would be to get all of this information. But to get all this information, we first would have to know the cluster's name if we're doing it using this endpoint, which is not ideal. We'd want to just get all of the information. But when you get all the information of a cluster, so when we do this, so instead of something like that, if we just did clusters, we would just get the name and ID, which for some reason is correct here, and the record count, not the records within it, which I thought would happen, would work. For some reason, I remember being specific about this, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. GitHub. We still would need to know the cluster's name. All right, so my options are pretty much to make modifications to the database or try to find a workaround on the front end. Hmm. I think the easiest, believe it or not, I think the easiest would be just to make the modification to the back end to return everything within the cluster. Because there's got to be a procedure for this, right? Get all cluster info, get all cluster IDs, get cluster size, let's try records maybe. Get all records in cluster by type, get all records in names, fetch record, get get all records in cluster. I'm not even using, yes, I am. Wait, hold on. Kill that and then look for it again. Get all records in cluster. I am not even using this for real. Okay. Dude, what are you doing? All right, this is perfect. We have a procedure that's not even being used. I just have it. Helper proc that gets. Oh no. Because we're still passing the cluster name here, so that's not it. Um, shit. We need a cluster procedure that does that. Get all cluster info. That's cluster. But we still need to pass in a cluster. So, in fact, we need to be doing something in collections. Fetch collection. Returns all the content within the body of the collection. This is what we need. We are using it in handler. Um, Secure collection operations. Okay, so as opposed to doing that, then on the front end, we should be able to just do all accounts and then go like this, right? Let's see what happens if we just do that. Son of a bitch. Oh my God, I don't, there's no way I did not build something for this. Right, and if you just do clusters, does it list everything? Are you shitting me? Okay, so I definitely missed something when I was building this damn database. Okay, so what's the next step here? Get all collection names, check if collection exists, clusters, purge cluster, check if cluster exists, get all cluster info, get all cluster IDs and collection, get all cluster names, get cluster, fetch cluster, finds and returns a passing cluster. Again, we need to pass in the fucking cluster if we do that. The names are not going to be known. Actually, wait a minute. I might have something here. We might have something here. Hold on, let me think. On the front end, the way we're interacting with this, when we want to get this initial fetch to list all of our data in our freaking collections accounts dot collection or whatever the hell it's called. Accounts dot OstrichDB. If we have multiple of these, right? What was I gonna say? God dang it. I could. So the names are not known, right? The user is not going to say, all right, give me GitHub, give me Zoom. No, we just want to get everything, all the data, and display it. The names are not known when it first happens by the front end. So we can't pass the, and by names, I mean the name of the cluster, GitHub, Zoom, whatever. The names are not known by the user or the front end rather. So we need to tell the back end to just fetch tell the front end to just fetch everything, right? Which is what I'm looking for, is one of the functions that I created that I thought I created that would fetch everything and return it as JSON. So we could use a function like, let me wait for it. We can use a function like get all cluster names in collection, make a request with that, take that information, then make a second request, like a for each, like append that to a freaking an array, iterate over that for each name in this array that just was returned, get the records, which would be fetch cluster. Okay. So you pass in the cluster name, it will return everything. I hope I'm making sense. So essentially, we need to make sure I'm not even using this more than once. Okay. Get all cluster names in collection. All right. Now how the hell do I do this on the server? Oh, sorry. How do you copy something? There it is. Okay. Uh, Clusters. This would return the name and ID. We can actually just use this. This already exists. So we'll return the name and ID. So if I just do clusters, this is what we get. So we would get this array or this iterate over this array of objects. Let's try it again since I added a second one. There we go. Um, yeah, we could do that. It already exists, so I don't need to make any changes to the back end. Okay, so let's go back to common.ts, and we will keep this. Boom, all accounts. Okay, that makes that. And then there's our array of objects. And so dashboard. Let's firstly. Okay, works for me. So we get our data back. So we'll call this cluster data. Okay, we'll rename this cluster data, and then for name in cluster data dot. How do you do this in TypeScript? Name is a constant. Cannot assign to a name because it is a constant. You have to be like for let name. Yeah, for okay. Name in cluster data dot or just cluster data, or actually let's fix this for cluster in cluster data console.log. Let's just see what we get. Cluster. Refresh this. Sends our request. Debug clusters. I'm not seeing it. Debug clusters. It's not. Do we have to do wait some response cluster data? So data is an object or an array of objects. Yes. Yes. Well, it's an object with an array of objects. So Hmm. How do you do? Oh, God dang it. Where am I at? TypeScript for each. There it is. Array dot for each. Can I find name array? Okay, let's try this again. 'Cause I'm tripping. Now, cluster data. Oh, wait a minute. So this is returning. For of response dot records for each record for const record of. Try, what's the problem here? Try, oh, there's an extra. All right, let's see here. Fetch loaded. Well, it's cluster data is not iterable to. Why not? It's JSON. Oh, I forgot I'm in the same damn thing. But this is not. Is this the one I'm trying to do? I'm trying to do this one just to get the names. Cluster data. It does return the way array. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? An object with an array of objects. Clusters. Oh, okay, okay. I see, I see, I see. Jeez. Just tell me the fucking answer, you bitch. Cluster data response for constant cluster data dot clusters or cluster in debug cluster. All right, let's go back over here. Cluster. Oh, dang it. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're getting the names of them. So then we need to make another request. Hold on. We just need to take the name. Okay, so there we go. Getting that. Um, we then need to send that name over request. So just we need to send cluster.name. So let so now we need to send a GET request to that. Actually, no, we can just use all accounts. It works. We'll just use all accounts. Lib dot all accounts. And then we're gonna pass in token all account. Now we're gonna do something. Actually, we need to. Do they have what's like that, right? So the next response is going to be that. So all right, so it's making its there's that. And now it's supposed to be getting there it is. Let's try D. Okay. See here. Dang it. So now we're getting that. Undefined type response. Oh yes, right. So we need to do what we did above. Const record data with the weight next response dot JSON. And this should be record data dot should yeah, record data dot records. Okay, and there we go. There's that. All right, beautiful. So now we need to, for each record in record data, what do we do next? All right. Yeah, so for each record in record data, we need to make an account entry. But cost new account equals what's the scope of this? Handle every handle account entry save. So what do we do here to get this to fucking show? I don't know. Hmm. What do we do here? We're making a new one somewhere down here. Right here. ID date dot now to string account new account. We'll just ask fucking what you call it. Why not? Let's see what it does. Curious. Because I would imagine we just need to make a new account like this, but I don't know how the fuck you get that. Like this doesn't make sense to me. Accounts equals an array of whatever the fuck three dots means. Accounts. How do you do that? Refreshing the cluster data record, but not actually being able to an account entry object and populating them in the accounts array. Okay. I'm assuming just like this. Did I need to dot myself? Oh boy, hold on. Whoa, what the fuck? Yep, okay. Account entry here. Okay, so it's not as little as I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit more. If record data dot records counts equal loaded accounts. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Also, we use get oob, not not GitHub. I typed it wrong. That's fine and dandy, but I want to understand what the fuck happened here. Also, why is that coming back as git? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me look at what it did. All right, so where did I stop? So we do need to make this. I was right about this, but it needed to be an array. So we're creating an empty array, loop over each cluster to get their names. For each record and record data, make an account entry. The cluster represents an account. Okay. So if I have a title for them, yes. Okay, that does beautiful. Okay, great. I like that. So this makes sense to me. So I did need to make a new array, and then I first had to make an empty entry. Okay, then we have to map records. So if how do you do this though? Records is an object. So how do you how is that valid? Excuse me first, let me break it down for you. When you're having an object and parameter classifier, you typically use if statements to check properties of the object, not the object itself. Here are the common patterns. Checking if a property exists. If param.name. Yeah, that's so dumb. Are you shitting me? There's not like a dot exists method in here. That's really silly to me. Yeah, there definitely should be. Just saying it, like I don't like that at all. So this is me checking not if it's something is true or no, it's if this exists. Not like it'd be different if it was like dot exists or something. Okay, that's very, very crappy. Sorry about that. I had to scratch my ear. I completely forgot I was recording. Okay. That is very silly to me. Not worried about tags right now. All right. I'm not too upset about this. I understand it, although I vibe coded it. I understand it. I don't like this, and I also don't like how you have to iterate over shit for const record of, not in, like of. I have to learn more about that. But okay, at the end of the day, we are getting um information. We are getting our data from our accounts at OstrichDB file. It's not encrypted, but it is what it is. So cool. Okay, I'm gonna end it here and I will continue on next time. Next time we'll be working most likely on uh actually adding the new ones. I was supposed to do that today, but I forgot I had to at least retrieve them first. Then we'll work on adding them, then deleting them, and then updating them as well. So it should be pretty smooth sailing from here on out. Now I'm getting a little bit better understanding of some of this TypeScript shit. But that's it. If you're interested in the project, you can just go to my GitHub, Schooly B, and then find oVault. That's the front end and the OstrichDB backend that I am using. If you're interested in more about OstrichDB, you can find plenty about it. There's the entire database engine that's open source right here. You can go there and look into that. There's a CLI, which is much older and out of date technically compared to the newer database engine, but it is generally the same. There's the web application where you can interact with a GUI. And there's a docs website. There's all kind of shit. So thanks for watching. Peace.